Okay, it's Monday everyone, junk in the trunk day, and I've got the brown packaging paper out today. Some of it I noticed that I'd already started doing stuff with, but mine comes in, you know, it's joined together, but it's perforated, but that's the size, so it's about 7¼ if I remember rightly. Yeah, about 7¼ and my width of this one was about 13, 14, about 15 inches. So I think at some point I'd already started messing around with it, but never done anything with it. So I thought I might as well carry on with this because it was in the trunk, and I thought, oh, make a nice insert. So, you know, it is quite thin, and I think I had, if I remember rightly, oh, that's an odd bit there, stuck together. There's two pieces stuck together. Okay, and this one's been cut already, so idea what I've done. I know what I was going to do. So I know that's there, but that could go back to back like that. Okay, and then we could have a pocket either at the top or in there. This could be quite a nice little insert, really. Yeah, done that. So we've got double-sided there, which is fine. Then a pocket. Okay, then we've got this. So what are we going to do with this bit? So that needs to go there, doesn't it, for strength. Okay, so we've got a pocket there, the double page there. Then we've got, that could be the back. So all it is a little insert. That'll be a pocket there, and then we could do some pockets on that bit and some pockets and things on there. And then we'd have a pocket here or at the top, whatever we decide. I think that would be all right, actually. That's enough for an insert, isn't it? But it would literally have to go in, you know, not folded, because you'll have this bit in the middle. So it's literally like a little journal, really. All right, let's see what the width is like. So I'm just thinking, who's going to put that in a journal? There had to be quite a big pocket. Right, that's 4 3/4 wide. That should be all right. That should still sit in a pocket. Yep, nope, I'm going to do it that way. I'm going to do a little insert, I think. A little booklet or an insert. Yeah. All right, so what I need to do is stick these back to back. Okay, so if you, I mean, I could sew them, but I'll stick them for, right, and just determined where you want your pocket. Do you want it coming out the top? Or do you want, I'm going to do it at the top because I normally do it here or here, but I'm going to do mine at the top. So you leave that. I know I might end up sewing mine, but if I glue it, then I'll show you. That's me. So you glue there. Just glue 3 sides there. Okay, that was the front, wasn't it? Make sure that's lined up-ish. Okay, and the best thing to do up here at the moment, so that's all stuck down, is to do your circle so you actually remember that's a pocket. Why is it always staring in front of you? Right, that's that way. So that's the top pocket. Okay, so we've got there, and then we've got a pocket, and then we've got this page here. Yes, it could be a flip out, but it's very thin, so you'd have to back if you wanted to do that, which would be quite interesting, actually. So we'd have a single there, and then we would have a flip out. Yep, I'll find some more, which I have. And and back that. Okay, so it's double thickness. Yeah. So this can be just glued right down. Give that a bit of a stretch, and then not quite right. It says there, so you've got a top pocket, and then you'll have a flip out page. Just, yeah, that's about right. I know we've got another one here, but I don't, you know, that's going to make it too thick, so I'm going to cut that off. And also, that flip out page, I like to take a tad shorter, all right, so that it's not nowhere near the spine or nowhere near the crease there. So I'll just take that off a bit. If I can see, there we go, so put that there. So get that lined up there, then I should be able to. Straight line with coming out a bit. So look, it's coming a bit. That's is that a half centimetre? Not saying it's straight, because I actually need to look above it and my head would be right in the way, so I'll check it in a minute. Use that for a tag, that one. Alright, everybody, there. That's it, that's the front page, that's the middle one, and then this is the flip out, and that should, oh, I can take it off a bit more, I think. Yeah, not enough. I'm definitely going to have to lean forward, so you might not see my head because I'll edit it out, but well, I've got my gesso out, okay, because I am going to gesso the pages, and I also want to gesso at the same time, gesso some of this brown paper for maybe use later on, okay, because it's always an idea to, if you're doing a bit, then do some more, okay, because it looks lovely when you gesso on this and you stamp it. I use it all the time. All right, just get a brush. I'm drying my brush off because I don't want it wet on there. I want to sort of dry brush it on. So make sure it's quite a dry brush. I'll put some on here. And then, totally random. I mean, a lot of this will be covered, but we will get bits on the edges and things like that. It's really funny doing this. It helps me to, it's like, because I used to do a lot of art journaling and I love it. I never was that brilliant at it, if you know what I mean, but I just loved it. And this sort of, I'm trying to do things where, because I'm not doing that anymore, but I sort of miss it. So by doing this, I feel as though I'm doing my little bit of art journaling because I'm getting the paints out and getting the gesso out, and, you know, we're altering things. And I think that helps me, you know, sort of get over the fact that I'm not journaling anymore, art journaling. I still occasionally draw faces and things, but not very often. I actually made a little art journal last week just to go take upstairs in case I fancy drawing in it out of just random pieces of paper. So okay, I think that's it. Yep, might as well use this up. There we go. Right, give that a dry and then I'll see you in a minute. Oh, I nearly forgot. And while you're at it, just shove some gesso on some other bits, yeah? So it corresponds with what we're doing. I don't mind how it is. I'll lay that on there. And when this is dry, just randomly stamp some stuff on it. Okay, and that it's just something that you can use in some projects later on, and you've got your own sort of like collage pieces. You can rip it up and ink it up and stuff. All right, and you can, if you want to, you can add, you know, some colour, some inks, which we can do. Spritz some inks on. There we go. Oh, there's some there. Can't leave that. So I've got this colour as well, which I'm just gonna use that up. I think there's a recipe for homemade gesso. There's no point. I get this one. I'm in the UK, so and I get mine from the Works because it's £5 for half a litre. But sometimes they do it. They have a deal on Hobbycraft. So if they ever do, and then I get the litre tubs, and they actually had some litre tubs for £5 last Christmas at the range. But that was a one-off, I think. I think they was clearing out their storerooms and that. So I'll just leave that to dry anywhere. Okay, that's just something for we can use later on or anything like that. Okay, so that's all nice and dry. So we'll do a bit of stamping on it first. All right, just because I'm not sure what I'm going to do with the front because I haven't got any big pieces of paper in my trunk. So the biggest one was this. That's the only one I have. So I've got dictionary pages and things like that. So we might do something like that with it. But I quite fancy maybe a pocket as well. So a tag could go in there. Yeah. Let's see what happens anyway. But first of all, I'm going to just stamp the background a bit. Just randomly, but more towards the edges because I'm not going to, you know, it's going to be covered. So sort of like that, really. That's all I do. I'll follow right the way through. I don't mind it missing bits or anything like that. That's fine because this is totally random. And again, like you're not going to see all of it, so do that back page there. Hope I'm in frame for you. Yeah. Okay. Right, now it's inking up time. So I use tea dye and vintage photo. That's my light one, so I start with my lightest. That's the front cover, isn't it? So I'll start on the front and just start to add a bit of colour. Right, get in here. Definitely on the creases. Age it a bit. I think I might add a bit of colour, actually. I'm going to be brave today. Is that it? Is that all the pages done? Yeah. That's the front, yeah. And then that was the back. Yep. I'm not going to actually do the dark one yet. I'll do that later on if need be. I actually quite like the way it's looking at the moment. Yeah, but I do want to spray a bit of, sorry, my bracelet's dinging on the glass plate. Use a little bit of spray or some colour, definitely. Right, I'm going to go and find a colour. Right, so what I've done is I picked out what we done last week. Okay, because if you look, it's all coordinating quite nicely. So I've picked this colour. It's called Honeydew from Misty Hueys. I've never heard of them. It's just that when Christmas, they had them going half price. So I picked them up. Never used them before. So, but I like the colour. And I picked the colour from the green here. I mean, we could have gone with blue from there, but I'm going to try green because I'm really pushing my green at the moment because I do have a problem with green, so I'm using it quite a lot at the moment. But I just thought this would be nice. I mean, if anything, some of these, you know, when we finished, like with the pocket, these would go in here, and I think they could end up quite nice. So I'm going to keep these by me, yeah, and look at them. So to keep that sort of colour palette going on, really. So, but when I do this, I'm going to literally randomly do it. Yeah. Actually, one of these could go on the front. Do you see? With a bit more, you know, dictionary paper behind or something, or some of this raggedy stuff. That could actually end up going on the front. And I think it would be nice if it's tied with jute string. This one. Could be that one. This one needs something else on it, because I did say something down here which would work. That would work as well, and this one would work too. Yeah, so they're all looking quite nice on there on the front, and that one it's a bit smaller, but that would work, and also that one. Yep. So any of those. So I have to make how many? 5, 6? But which we could out of packaging paper. Right, so what I'm going to do is just randomly spritz. Just to add a bit of colour now and again. Yeah. It's very, not very green, so, but that's fine. So a bit more colour there. Might need a shake, actually. Not very green at all. There we go, better. Right, I'm going to dry that a minute. Okay, dries a little bit darker than it went on. I actually thought they wouldn't going to see any green whatsoever. But no, you can see, it's just a little bit, just a hint, which, you know, is enough. So I'm going to do a bit more. And then we can always add the distress inks after if we need to. Because I do like those. I mean, this is, no wonder it's half price, really. I'm most probably all right on white paper. Okay, that's nice and dry. All right, so what I'm going to do now is I'm going to add a little bit of black stamping, because if you look at all these, okay, they've all got a bit of black in them, near enough. All right, so what I'm going to do is exactly the same on here, only a bit lightly because I've already got some. Okay, but just randomly again, just here and there, just to give that bit of depth to it. And I'm using stays on because I'm not sure what I'm going to do with this. Oh, and I've got a bit of a backdrop there because I quite like stamping and getting it on that one to use later on. So, you know, bits and pieces. So again, very lightly, just here and there. Oops. A bit of this on there. And a little bit up there, I reckon. Okay. So that's going to be the front cover. Okay, that is fine. Right, I need to wipe that one though. It stays on, it's got a chemical in it, isn't it? So let's give that a bit of a clean straight away. Okay. Okay, yeah. So you've got to make a decision. I haven't got to make a decision now. I suppose we can see what happens through the. Any of those are going to look nice. Anyway, this I'm sort of like getting sidetracked now. I thought, oh, I wanted to put that on there now, but I mustn't. Okay, so we're going to leave that one plain because I think, you know, once that's on there, all right, we will be. Okay, or should we do that now, the front cover, and then do all the pockets? Decisions. Yeah, I want to use some more of that behind this one. Okay, no, we'll leave it. Pretend it's done. Right, so need to find out what we're going to do in here. And then do some pocket, do a nice pocket this side, because one of the other tags could go in it. Maybe a bit thick really, but you know, one of those could go in it. So let's have a look. I might be able to make a pocket out of that one actually, and then back it, because this haven't got any ink on it yet. So, and I quite like the fact that it's torn, so I might do a torn edge on a pocket. It's just a bit too big. go there. Just going to just fold it over the page so pockets. No, I'm going to come down a little bit further, sorry folks. To just drop down like so. That's it. And this needs backing on a bit of card or something, which I'm going to go and do. I'll go and get a piece of card anyway. Okay, I thought I'd use a bit of this actually. Got a piece here, and we can double it up to make a bit of strength, like so, and then rip all that. So, yeah, I'm gonna do that. Let's have a look. Bit of glue. And then rip that down. Okay, need some ink on that. Oh, check the size first. No point in inking it up until right, so I'm going to stitch around this pocket. Not sure what's going to go on the front. Just got to find that, but that's no good. Right, so I'm just going to stitch around that, but I'm not going to stitch along here. I'm going to leave that free. Just stitch around there before we glue it in. Okay. I just had a thought. Before I go any further, I'm actually going to stitch around mine. You don't need to, but I'm going to because I like that effect. Okay, so I'm going to go and stitch round all the pages, of course, except that one. But I will do down there the 3 sides. Okay, and stitch round all those. Oh, just come up with some paper, you know, bits that I thought might look nice to journal on here. Not sure yet. I just playing around. So, but I'm going to go and stitch it first. Okay, I think I've made a decision. So I've stitched all around it, all right, which is good. And I think I'm going to do my front cover first because I want to stitch that one on, all right. And I mean, you don't have to stitch it, you can glue it, but I want to stitch it on, and then I can decide what happens here because of the stitching here, all right. And I picked that bit of green because it seems as though this is the way it's going. That I use those in the tags that we done last week, so I still had a bit of that in my little tray because I've kept loads of bits out of. I don't think I'm gonna be using that band. I don't know what that is in there for. It came out of the box. All right, so they're all, I've kept them in a tray, and I keep that from week to week so we can work with all the bits as well. All right. Well, I know I had those other bits, but the way it's going, it's not working. It's just that as soon as I'd done this brown paper bag, it lent itself for these to go in it. So, you know, I've scrapped basically what I thought I was going to use, but so I'll use that with something else next week. So I won't put that in my tray yet. I'll keep them out because I must stop using grungy stuff. I'll try and do something brighter if I can. Yeah, so doing the front cover then determines what I do on here. All right, and what I need to cover up. And I've chosen that one because with artful on, because I thought, well, it's going a little bit sort of arty really. And I have that bit of green and some of this behind here. So I'll stick that on first. Actually ink up. Oh, yeah, we need to sort out what closure you're going to use before you... Sorry, I'm concentrating there. Before you carry on as well. I'll just put that there. Okay, and I said about the jute string, which is lovely, so I think it's going to be a wraparound. So I'm going to leave that there. I'm going to do it underneath, you see, so, and then it'll be only once like that. It will be stitched on like so. Okay, and glue down there before I put this on and the other thing. So while we do that, this can be drying. Like that. Maybe just a bit too much glue there. Make sure I've got enough to tie a bow this side. And let's have a look. 3. Okay. Yep. So that can be drying while we do this bit. I've already done that one, but never mind. That's how things change. Nothing is set in stone with me. I change all the time. Right, okay. Sorry, I want more at the bottom so I can scruff it up a bit. Like that. Glue there. Just put a bit of glue on because I'm just going to stitch it on, so I'm not going to worry too much. Just down the middle. And if you were doing it with no stitching, glue it down properly. Need to just hold that away from me just to make sure I think we're all right there. A little bit there, a little bit there. That's fine. Okay, right, I'm going to take some of this off, which would have been better actually doing it before, wouldn't it? Just trim that down a bit. I don't mind the bottom because I'm going to mess that up. Okay, right, and I'm going to go ahead and stitch around that now. Without that there. Okay. There we go. And now it's time to pull some threads. Okay. Oh, it's feeling really lovely. There we go. And then I'm going to cover with a tie. Yep, that's fine. Yep. So when I stitched round and inked up earlier, so I think that's going to go there like that, and then that sort of thing. And then I thought with the brown paper we can do a ruffle that would go that way. I think like that, and maybe a bit of lace as well poking through. Might look nice, sort of, to bring that in here like that way, and that would make that nice rip stand out, wouldn't it? Yeah, might be something like that. I think that would look quite nice as a pocket. And then, ooh, should we back that and put journaling stuff on it like the other one was? That could go there. Yep, that's what we'll do. Okay, so we decided on the pocket here, so I shall go ahead with that in a moment. But I thought, I saw this napkin lying around, so I've got a few of these, and I thought some of these would look quite nice dotted around. I've kept the bit here, you know, the two bits that you get out, because I will show you something to do with that at a later stage. We can do some leather effect paper with that. Okay, that's quite nice too, because that's got a bit of the print on. But that won't show anyway, not with what I'm going to do with it. But I'll show you how to do some leather effect. I used to do it on the front of my journals, and I quite liked, but I sort of don't seem to do it now, really. But I thought I'd pick out some little flowers from here, which I thought was quite nice. I'm going to decoupage them, which again will give the brown paper a bit of strength. One there, because we're going to have a pocket that comes to about here with a tag, so you're only going to sort of see there. And then there's some really pretty ones on here. I'll go ahead and pick some of these out, and then I'll come back when I've done that, save you painfully watching me. Okay, I've picked out some pieces. Thought I'd have a bit down here and dot them around. There's going to be a pocket here, so I shall go ahead and do that. I won't, you know, you've seen me decoupage before, so I will get on with that and then get back to you when it's done. Interesting. Have to do something with that. Oh dear, it just gets mad, doesn't it? But anyway, you know what I do. Watered down glue, 2 to 1 if you're just watching me the first time. 2 parts water, 1 part glue. It needs to stir that a bit more. Just so that I can manoeuvre it around and it's not too sticky. And I seem to prefer it. So, but each to your own, please. You know, if you get on a bit with a different way, then so be it, really. Okay, and we'll give that a dry now. Okay, it's all lovely and dry. And put our pocket in now. Okay, oh, sometimes I'll go around just a tiny bit of ink, just sort of like to blend in what we've done. And I also, as you know, just sand it over a little bit. Okay, not much. It didn't need much, actually. It sat quite nicely, so it wasn't too wrinkly. Okay, pocket time. Let's have a look. That's going to be the tag to go in it. Right, so what we need to do first So ink that on there. Must get rid of some of my bits too. I've got so much. Oh, I know we all have actually. Right, just glue that on. And I was going to put a bit of lace on the top here. Whether I'll be able to quite fancy ruching it up a little bit for a change. Don't know whether it'll work. Oh, I think it might. Because it's quite thin lace, so. That's quite nice. And then I'll just ink up that. I'll just leave it to dry first. Right, it's all nice and dry, so that can fit in there now. There we go.